How long will interest rates stay up and how long will housing prices stay up? 3 tiny homes that kills the competition. $15,000, $30,000 and $49,900,000 YouTube. Maybe this is the wave of the future? Who knows? It's interesting to see how the real estate market plays out. What are your thoughts? No idea, but I'm saving for a bigger down payment. Interest over the life of the loan should be no more than 50 of the principal. Need the rates to go to 10 and/or unemployment to rise significantly. If either doesn't happen, better increase your income. Jerome Powell needs higher unemployment for rates to go down. 17 more months. You do understand that housing prices are pushed down by the high interest rates. It will more expensive when they go down. Once they stop printing money out of thin air to support prolific government spending. No idea about interest rate, but 99.99% sure home price will be higher 10 years from now. The government simply print too much money. Good loosh. Inventory is down because no one is willing to replace a refi or purchase loan of 3.5 with a 7.5. So when supply is as low as it is, there is no way prices will come down or even warrant a change. Anything in my area below $300K that is livable is still flying off the shelf. Above that, in that middle tier from $400,000 $600K, we are seeing some big pushback, but that upper tier of housing is offset with cash purchasers or paid off mortgages, so they can afford to let it sit as. It's not dire need to sell ASAP. It's just a weird funky market right now. Just need the baby boomers to die. If anyone could predict the future, they'd be a billionaire. This life is fucked. I thought traveling nurses were a landlord's bread and butter. Now they aren't even renting from them? How many free months rent you guys think we're going to see? 1 3 months? 1 5 months? 6 months free? First part, 1.5 years. Second part, not in the foreseeable future. Decade at least. It's gonna be 5-10 years before any meaningful inventory gets released. A lot of people who have met as superb homes plan to stick around in what they have for years to come. Interest rates will stay up for 672 days. Housing prices will stay up 921 days. Interest rates will stay up until the next crisis. House prices will only go up. Hope that helps. Everything is only going up. There are districts in my area that top out at $208,000. 2 teachers can easily afford a home and have a pretty nice life. Go where you are appreciated. Why are you assuming prices will decrease? That's why I plan on developing my property with 40-50 ultra eco homes once demand picks up. From the comments on here, I take it nobody owned or bought a house before 2015. I sold our starter for a small profit and bought a bigger one in 2009. PNW. The owner tried to sell it for a year and a half and we got it for 2-3 of their original price. I also sat through the dot-com bubble burst and watched as nobody had a job anymore. History is out only guide. And if you say, but, it's different this or correct, it's gonna be more fucked than before. Interest rates are here to stay. Expect higher for the next 10 years, nothing less. Double digits is the end game. As far as housing, I have no idea, but I say about 2026 or 2027 we are going to start seeing cracks in the housing market, and by 2030 or 2031 it will be safe to invest again for long term. Interest might drop, but housing will never go down until there's a massive societal collapse. Less Adderall next time. Going forward, the biggest problem will be the loss of housing supply due to climate change. Fires, droughts, Storms and floods will only get worse as it gets hotter. This will cause enormous loss of housing supply along the coastline where millions of people live. Loss of supply is going to keep prices high, unfortunately. Interesting how you led with the teachers. Their reliance on federal funding makes them the target for mandates, etc. Not to mention unions and huge voting blocs. Now we are all getting what we paid for. I admire those that are conceding as they see the world suffer. Even though they were on the wrong side. F those with pride as it continues to push us all over the cliff. Once the cryptocurrency virtual pet rock beanie baby tulip rationality disappears. It will happen slowly at first and then a sudden drop, which has already begun, thankfully. Listen to this sob story nonsense. How about go have a career? Actually accomplish something. Then, after making something of yourself, then go get your teaching degree. Then, you'll actually have real life experience and wisdom. Then, you have something to teach. A real skill matched with real world experience. Then you'll be able to actually enrich the lives of your community. Did you ask them why they just don't leave San Francisco? And teachers don't have to go to wealthy HCL areas either. But the reality is that it might go up for a long time. Look at Kenyatta. Or it might crash. We don't know. With the massive influx of immigration into the country, they all need places to live, which will likely continue to provide pricing power to landlords and sellers. There is still plenty of opportunity for those who are willing to move and find their spot. Forever until housing crashes by 90, since that's what they are worth. Has interest rates been bad idea for supply? Nobody wants to sell if they have to move into another house to pay more plus a higher interest rate. It has done more harm than good. Interest rates will stay up as long as inflation is above a comfortable level for the Fed. Prices will stay up unless rates rise more. Rates won't go below 4 without Fed buying mortgages like in past Fed is what allowed below 3 mortgages. And owns 22 of all residential mortgages. If that's not market deformation, I don't know what is. Either until 2025 or a major banking failure. It's going to be 10 years before all those people sitting on 3 mortgages consider selling. Prices won't go down until supply goes up, meaning these homes. The assumption that prices will drop from a perceived bubble or simply wishing it were true with no basis in actual economics. At least another decade. Anecdotal. But after the '08 crash, we didn't hit the bottom until 2012. That said, we are not going to see interest rate come down dramatically for 10 to 15-year IMHO. The reason is inflation. Inflation will and has come down but will always be there due to labor shortages which won't be lessened for a decade or so. This will be exacerbated as we onshore more of manufacturing, construction, robotics, etc. Prices long term will come down but will vary depending on location in the US. A longer timeline worldwide as populations decrease will have a Japanese vibe. Forever. The only answer to this is until they don't. They'll stay up forever. These are normal rates. Even low. Low is 5. Normal is 7 and high is 12. Sleeping in your car is the future of housing and the best way to avoid rent. That's why it's illegal. I think the Federal Reserve wants to kill inflation very quickly and then lower rates. Servicing the U.S. debt at 5-6 rates is unsustainable. You can't stay in your house if you don't have a job to pay the mortgage. I'm not believing this current real estate market. I'll sit this one out and wait in cash until something gives. Where do I find RV parking in San Francisco for $500 a month? I'm pretty sure that doesn't exist. I see going down by 2024. For as long as it takes to bring inflation rate back to 2 tiny house fancy shanty.